Electric motor.
Synthetic rigging.
Classic sailboat.
No electronics.
Crossing the Atlantic Ocean.
Going where the fair winds blow, our home is where the waters flow. We'll show you what we've come to know on board while sailing wisdom.
We just bobbed for my whole watch, and I kind of hand steered to keep the sun behind us as it rose. And now I am very tired with my 3.5 hours of sleep. So I'm going to go back inside, and Herbie has come out to relieve me. Only thing that happened during my watch is I caught a giant bug in a cup.
We're just bobbing here as per usual. The Strait of Gibraltar is really tricky because it's got that constant current flowing in. So kind of like fighting an endless tide here. But the good thing is the sun's come back out, which means that our solar panel is collecting energy and we can motor a very wee bit based on what the solar panel is putting in. So I'm going to be doing that because I like moving forward. So our solar panel is 150 watts, which means 0.15 kilowatts. It's not very much, but we can motor at that rate indefinitely, which is nice, as long as the sun's up. So we actually drifted back in about 8 miles. Hopefully we can get out and get past the current's grip before it sucks us back in. Now, a really important thing that we have is a book. In this book is a really, really handy table of all the tides and the currents and everything. And we're actually using those current maps to get us out. It's a 30-mile thing. We've currently sailed over 50 miles. We're just like going in circles. So we really want to get out of here and then start making our way towards Maleta. Oh my God, we at 2 points drifted straight backwards 10 miles and there was nothing we could do. The whole time we were leaving the strait, the bow was pointed west. We went north, we went south, we went east, we went all over the place. Rarely did we ever go west, but now we're out. There's a northwest wind, so we're beating into it. We just reefed down just for comfort and just, you know, take it easy. We got a long way to go. No reason breaking something for just a little more fun factor. It feels really good to finally be out of there. Last night I didn't want to go to sleep until we were out, and Maddie convinced me. She's like, just go to sleep, I'll do my watch, and then I'd sleep, and then we'd keep doing our watches through the night. I'm glad she forced me to go to sleep because we ended up finally making it officially out of the Strait of Gibraltar at about 1 p.m. the following day. It's just been a long event.
Begun to set. It's been a kind of weird day of sailing because we're technically out of the strait, but we're still in a very rough area because of all the crazy currents that run through here. So we've had a lot of just kind of jostly hours. I'm gonna take first watch again, but first Herbie's making some rice and beans because I can't go down into the cabin right now or I will be sick everywhere. We're gonna enjoy a nice hot meal because even though it's so hot on shore, it's actually quite chilly out at sea. It's I would say probably in the 60s. We're all kind of like bundled up in blankets, we're eating a hot meal, and then the watches will begin.
So I'm really excited because pretty much every night when Maddie says, Herbie, what do you want for dinner? My first answer is always rice and beans.
And I almost never make it.
Yeah, I haven't had rice and beans in a long time, so I'm so excited. This is our third day, August 21st. we're still near the strait, so we're still being affected by the tides. So when the tide does whichever way it does, we get sucked in and then we get spat back out. And even though we're pretty far from it, we're like about 10 miles or so, we're still being pulled in. And right now there is no wind. It's glassy calm. So there's really nothing we can do about it. We're just kind of going along for the ride. We knew it was going to be tough to get out of the strait because, I mean, it's an infamous strait. It's easy to go in, it's really hard to come out. Now, we could have left the strait on a different day when there would be more wind and all those things, but the problem is the strait itself gets really nasty.
Today, luckily, it's a little smoother, so I'm feeling okay, but Herbie, poor Herbie, has had very little sleep this entire time, so he's going to sleep for a few hours, and I'm gonna watch things for now. The wind has arrived. We're sailing. Feels really good, but we are still beating. So it's not perfectly comfortable, but it is miles better than the last couple days. So the moment that the wind comes, it's always this kind of magical moment because you hear it in the sails fill, and then all of a sudden you're just gliding through the water. And when you go from bobbing to gliding, it's a very noticeable difference, and it just kind of like raises your spirits. We've got that going on right now. We've got some ships around us, but nothing bad, and just kind of hanging out.
Pretty surreal to be back out here. It's been so long since we've been in the Atlantic, and honestly, like, our Mediterranean adventure was very short, very brief, very eventful, spirited, but it was about as short as the period between the waves. Like, it was really intense. It left a very lasting memory and impression on me too. But now we're back out in the Atlantic, and we're just, pointing the bow towards absolute nothingness. It's just blue horizon, and I'm just watching Africa and Europe just, fade into the distance. It's just so magical to be back out in the ocean. The other huge thing on my mind is the distance we have left to go. So we've sailed over 10,000 nautical miles to get to this point, and to get back to the BVI, we're looking at straight line distances about 5,400 nautical miles. That sounds like a lot, but I know it's going to be so much more by the time we get there, because everything that we've sailed, we end up sailing so much further because we're sailing. So what you doing?
Making some dinner. I can't go inside because it's too rough, but this works. We need to eat our greens because they're already starting to go bad.
So while Maddie has that going on, I'm doing the inside part, which is making the chicken for the avocado chicken. And Maddie put the reef in all by herself. So we have 2 reefs in right now, and our staysail, and we're just beating to windward. The wind started picking up. Her weather looked like it might be hinting at coming, and then it came. Oh, it came.
Delicious. This is one of my favorite dishes. Avocado chicken. It was inspired actually by somebody that we met while cruising, but I kind of put my own, I kind of made it up a little bit, but man, I don't know if it's just that we've barely eaten today, but this is especially good tonight.
Well, Maddie just finished her watch. It's almost 4 a.m., so she did an awesome watch, which meant that I got some amazing sleep. And we're just making our way out of the strait. We're far from it now. We're about 44 miles away from the strait, so we feel pretty confident that we're not going to get sucked in anymore. And we're just heading out towards Maleta.
You'll be my star, I'll be your sky. When I turn jet black and you show off your light, I live to let you shine. I live to let you shine. But you can skyrocket away from me and never come back if you find another galaxy far from here where there's more room to fly. Just leave me your stardust to remember you by.
Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.
And if you'd like to follow our journey in real time on a map, receive postcards from our ports of call, and message us directly to the boat, you can go ahead and become a patron using the link in the description down below.